How about your Florida State Seminoles?
You are Locked On Seminoles, your daily podcast on the Florida State Seminoles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's go Noles! Florida State upsets Alabama 31-17. How about the start to the 2025 season? I'm your host, Brian Smith, host here at Locked On Seminoles. Thank you for joining in to this live show, and it couldn't be a better one. Florida State, we're going to go over the stats. We're going to go over all the fine-tuning and all the little things, but a couple of points first, right out of the gate. Number one, Florida State was more physical. Number two, Florida State outcoached them. Number three, Florida State, they wanted it more. Alabama was the softer team. Repeat, Alabama was the softer team. Alabama got its butt kicked. Florida State took it to Alabama. Welcome to College Football 2025, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here on this wonderful Saturday night, August 30th. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Florida State Seminoles. If you're a fan, if you're a hater, anything else, you got to give props to the Noles. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Thank you once again to Game Time for being a sponsor here at Locked On Seminoles. I also want to say a couple of things before I get into the chat and everything else, and I'm sure we're going to have a bazillion people commenting, and please do, by all means, Alabama haters, please, you can join in too. I even saw Alex Dono, who hates Florida State, comment about saying on X, Florida State looks really good. Do you have any idea how hard it was for Alex to type those words? He despises the existence of Florida State football. That's a good sign. So I want to put it in perspective on something I said in the opening. Excuse me. Florida State was more physical. But what was the statistical reason for me saying that? Let's go quarter by quarter, shall we? And look at the rushing totals for Bama versus the Florida State Seminoles. I wonder what that looks like. Anybody want to guess? Well, it didn't start good. First drive for Bama, they ran it down Florida State's throat. Scripted plays for a veteran quarterback. I know he's inexperienced, but Ty Simpson, he did pretty well, and he passed a little bit on that first drive. They were good. 58 rushing yards in the first quarter for Bama. Only 28 for the Noles. Yeah, that's not a good start. But the second quarter, Alabama 3, Florida State 98. Repeat, Alabama had 3 rushing yards on 5 carries. That is 0.6 yards per carry. The Noles had 16 carries for 98 yards, 6.1 yards per tote. Alabama had Florida State's foot up its behind. Florida State slapped Alabama around. Florida State made it clear who the better football team was in quarter 2, and then it continued into the second half. Let's talk a little bit about the third quarter, just for the entertainment value alone. Third quarter rushing totals, just third quarter alone. Alabama, 7 carries. You know what they had? It's not very good. 5 yards. 5. That's 0.71 yards per carry. On the other side, it wasn't great for Florida State, but it was a heck of a lot better. 36 yards on 10 carries. And then in the fourth quarter, Alabama got rolling. I'm making it funny here. Not good. Not good at all. They had 21 rushing yards on 3 carries, and Ty Simpson had to do some of that. They couldn't get a running game going because they were so far behind by screwing around up front early on that Florida State won that. And the Noles, I mean, they had a few plays there at the end where they downed the ball and all that. 19 carries for 68 yards. Total for the game, Alabama, 29 carries, 87 yards, 3 yards per tote. That's pretty much garbage. Florida State, 49 carries, 4.7 yards per carry, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. No way around it. Florida State punched Alabama in the face, and Alabama said, please leave me alone, big bully. Florida State bullied Alabama. Kalen DeBoer's team was soft as a marshmallow. Florida State hit more in fall camp. Alabama practiced 7-on-7, and it showed. Alabama's way more talented offensive line in terms of NFL draft looked like a bunch of patsies in the run game, while Florida State's young guys, even, by the way, shout out Mandrell Dacier. That guy is going to be a dude. Florida State found themselves a player there at Miami Norland. That is a ball player. Thank you, University of Miami, for not recruiting him. Congratulations. Again, though, Florida State punched them in the mouth. It was awesome. So, with that, I will do another show for tomorrow. Then I'll go into a whole bunch more stats, situational, and all that stuff. I love that. But this is more the emotional side. This is for fans to come in here, let yourself be known. This is for you who went through that crap with me last year. Lord only knows that sucked. But Florida State made a statement against Bama, and they earned it. Physical football, good play calling, and execution. It's amazing how that combination of three things never, ever, ever, ever goes out of style. That's how you play football. Alabama usually is the one that delivers that kind of blow. It's true. Not today. Florida State said, not today. And it was awesome. You got to give them props. I love physical football like this. The play calling kept Alabama off balance. They looked a little flustered at times. And it's not like they're deprived of talent. Half those kids, and I'm being very conservative, I covered in some capacity at some event as a 4 or 5 star player on their defense. Florida State hammered them. It's just amazing what the ability to play power football can do. And now, something that I also need to give props about. How about Tommy Castellanos? How about the guy that made the great throw to Jalen Lucas? How about the guy that threw the bomb to Squirrel White? And by the way, shout out Squirrel. Perfect timing, when to dive, how to tuck it, how to roll. Tommy threw 2 deep balls, like true deep balls, connected on both. He missed on a few throws here or there, but overall, he was pretty good. They only had to throw 14 passes. If you would have told me Florida State threw 14 passes in this game before it started, I said, oh boy, something's really weird. Obviously, I would have been wrong, and I'm guessing many of you thought so too, but did anybody really think that the Noles were going to run up 4.7 yards per carry, 230 yards on the University of Alabama football team? Some of you may have. I didn't. I'm here to eat crow and happily do so. And I'm sure there are going to be many of you that are going to go to your office, your day job, to your church, to talk to your idiot neighbor down the street that's a Gator fan or whatever, and have fun this week. Amen. Why not? You should do that. So it's been a lot of fun, and I can't tell you how long it's been since I've been a part of something like this that was this shocking. I picked Florida State to lose by 3 touchdowns, and they won by 2. I don't miss badly very often, and this is an example. Last night, the Auburn versus Baylor game, I picked the exact score. I'm pretty good at this. Boy, I missed this one, and it's okay. When we come back, I'm going to get into the chat. We got a bazillion comments. Holy cow, I got 81 comments already. It's going to take a while. I'm going to go through all the comments. We're just going to let it roll. We're just going to have fun. We're going to have fun for about an hour. Let it rip. Let your feelings out. Alabama gets smoked by Florida State, 31-17. We'll be back right after this. College football and Florida State football is back. And as you can tell, I couldn't be more excited. Tailgates, rivalries, all the enthusiasm, especially in Doak Campbell Stadium. It's pretty awesome. And there's all kinds of endless opportunities to have fun with it. And I bet you're probably thinking about going to a Florida State game. And a really good way to do that is through the Game Time app. It's an app I use. You don't have to worry about all the hidden fees and all the other garbage to get a ticket to get in. That's why Game Time is the app that gives you the advantage to get back into the stadium and without all the hassle. What you see is what you pay. There isn't a bunch of hidden fees. So whenever you pull up Game Time, by the way, you pick a seat, you click on it, you can see the seat view. So from wherever it is to midfield, or if you're at a baseball game, the pitcher's mound, anything that you do, you can see it. And they got games as low as $25. So Game Time's a pretty cool deal. Take the guesswork out of buying college football game tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, it's promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Thank you once again for making Locked On Seminoles your first listen each and every day on this special edition. Here as Florida State kicks the crap out of Alabama. Very good day. This is my favorite podcast I've ever done in just over 2 years on this show, by the way. I think it was August 19th, 2 years ago. It was my first show. We're just past 2 years, and this is the best one. Kicking Alabama in the teeth and talking crap about it is top of the board for me. I don't know about you, but it's top of the board for me. So now let's jump into the chat, which I have 98 comments. There's no way I'm going to catch up to all these. I'm going to randomly go through some of these. I apologize if I don't read your comment, but there's too many, and that's a good thing. Keep bringing them. Who knows? We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. Let's see. This is from Will Berger. We took it to them in the trenches. I understand the 2-10 season, but I had no doubt going against this new quarterback. First game was picture perfect art. Ain't nothing wrong with that. FSU needed that, says Lauren Hester. Reminds me of our glory years. Great win. Amen. Anybody disagree with that? I mean, come on now. Cat 4 Kane says, Hurricanes here, and I will say it for you. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I don't really know what that means, but okay. Brandon Campbell, go Noles. Let's see. Well, we got Garrett. Noles 3 for 3 on the last SEC openers. Great call, brother. Great call. Florida State, I mean, they're rolling. And it's really cool because LSU, they obviously beat Alabama today. Who is the third? I'm not remembering off the top of my head. My memory's not the greatest with this kind of stuff, but like that's pretty interesting. Florida State wins SEC openers. I don't know how I can bring that into some kind of rhyme or something like that to make it sound really cool, but I tell you what, I like it. I like it a lot. So we'll just go with that. Let's see here. Brittany Steven. Hey, Brian, still think we're winning 6 games this year? Ha, ha, ha. I have no idea what to expect now after you beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns. I mean, the next 2 games they're going to win. They're going to be 3-0. If they only win 6, somebody got hurt. How about that? I will say that very, very clearly. Based Jiren, Alabama is going to be 8-4, and it's going to be glorious. I actually texted a few friends of mine. No lie. I said, this Alabama team's not going to the playoff. They don't have a quarterback. He's a good, solid quarterback, but he's not the guy that's going to lead you to the playoff. And if they made it, like if they got in, like they get smoked. He's just not good enough. And again, I'm going to say it. It is blatant that Alabama is not a physical team. They have 5 rushing yards over like a quarter and a half or something. Alabama? You got Caden Proctor at left, and what are you doing? They didn't hit in fall camp. They were playing patty cakes, throwing the ball around with Coach Grubb. That's how you lose football games. Terrible job. Terrible job by Alabama's coaching staff. FSU was dominant in all phases. That is from King Lewis. The only thing I could say, you can't go special teams because the goofy bounce of the ball that hit Jalen, it is what it is. But otherwise, you're pretty much right. Let's see. Brandon Campbell. Happy birthday. Yeah, thank you, man. It's a pretty good one. Not going to lie. You were worried about the depth chart. You got to admit you were wrong. Oh, I'm still worried about the depth chart because they ain't very deep. but they hit in fall camp, and it paid off. The depth chart's not where it needs to be. They got problems rushing the passer, like they can't get him on the ground, et cetera. They got problems. But Florida State is way better than we thought. Way better, especially the offensive line. I think anybody comment on this, you can put whatever you want. What position overachieved the most for you? I'm going to say O-line, but let me be very specific. Pass protection was pretty good. I actually spoke with a friend of mine yesterday, and he played at Florida State. He played offensive line at Florida State. He knows what it looks like. He played on some of the dominant teams. We both didn't think they would remotely pass protect. This is a guy, I mean, he massive guy, played for the Noles, all that. He's seen it. He didn't think they could pass protect. Hey, sometimes it's okay to be wrong. I'm glad we take this one. Let's see. Here's an interesting point. This is something, acoustics and all that. Rhino says, less seats, the stadium was louder than any game last season. He's right. Part of it's because I think everybody wanted to come to the new stadium. Part of it's Bama. Them folks got crazy today. When Florida State scored that touchdown to take the lead, to go up 14-7, what do you think the decibel level was? What do you think it was? I'm thinking it was pretty darn good. I'm thinking it was dope. I'm thinking that it's as loud as it's been in a few years. Florida State was rolling. Let's see. Let's see here. King Beyond the Wall. The big game homie Gus did his thing. Yeah, there ain't no doubt. It's crazy. Didn't you say Proctor and the other line, D-line, would dominate? Here's the backtracking. No, I'm not backtracking. They're better in terms of raw talent. Their D-line had moments, but they were soft. That's on the Alabama staff for how they prepared for this game. Again, you could tell in many ways they didn't hit in fall camp. Somebody remind me in the chat here later on. I know it'll take me a while to get to it. Which running back was it for the Noles? It was a short yardage, 3rd and 2. Lawson, really good player, linebacker for Bama, filled the gap, and he got destroyed. He's going to play in the NFL. He got destroyed by the Florida State running back. Might have been, I think it was Rodell, but I could be wrong. Every aspect, Florida State was just more physical. Just more physical. King Lewis, I deal with Alex all week. Don't worry. Fair enough. Hell of a start to the year, says Julio Melendez. Amen to that. Let's see. SS Gang, roll Knowles. I told you all spring we will be good. It is what it is. King Nugie, you doubted us. I absolutely did. Why wouldn't I? Coming off 2-10. Ric Flair, Bama not bad. FSU just a bad matchup. If you watched, you saw 2 good teams. You think Bama's good? Bro, they had 5 rushing yards in about 2 quarters. That's not good. That's not good at all. What an opening for the new stadium. Did they bring the goalpost down? I don't know. SS Gang asked that. Somebody else will have to answer. Jazz Unlimited podcast. Come on, Bama fans. Keep talking. Don't leave now. I mean, it's true. They just weren't very good. Bama sucks, says SS Gang. That's hilarious. Here's a great question. Ric Flair, what is FSU's new win total? Is it 8? Is it 9? Is it 10? I don't know. That's a good question. Florida State, I don't know. I mean, they got Miami at home. I'll go and call this now. I'll call Dono out on it. Miami's not winning the Doak unless if Florida State is healthy. And they're a thin team. But if Florida State is healthy, I believe the game is October 4th. Noles by 7. Rhinos. Jesse Palmer was hating all game. I don't really care what Jesse was doing. I don't pay attention to Jesse Palmer. If you are, that is on y'all. He's a mediocre announcer, in my opinion. He tries, but he's just not that great. Ride the skies. People thought we would need 5 turnovers to win. I didn't say 5. I thought they'd need to be +2. But Florida State got a few 4th down wins, and Alabama just wasn't good. They just weren't. Here's maybe one of the best posts, and I should have addressed this already, from SS Gang. Tony White did a good job. Let me one-up you. Tony White is National Assistant Coach of the Week. Period. Tony White is National Coach of the Week. Period. Trevor Owen, where are Kenton and Dono? I'm going to talk to them this week. They'll probably have me on Locked On ACC, and I'll have them clip some stuff. They'll enjoy it. I mean, nobody likes Bama, trust me. Dono hates Florida State. Kenton doesn't like Florida State and all that. Nobody likes Bama. I can assure you, because their fans are annoying. I live in Alabama. I know. Let's see. Lewis Rod, knocking dudes out like it was 90s, 2000 defense. Loved it. Facts, bro. They didn't always find themselves in the right spots. There were guys open and all that stuff. The Bernard kid for Alabama killed Florida State, but they still tackled. Like, again, they tackled in fall camp. You can tell because they tackled at the secondary level. Line like Nicholson, he was doing his thing. Cryer, Herring, all those guys, they were playing hard, tackling through the ball carrier. Amen to that, man. Amen to that. Ride the Sky says, we got coaches. Hell of a lot better coaching staff than last year, that's for sure. Rhinos, I can't wait to play Miami. You heard it here first. Noles by 7 in Doak over Miami. Prove me wrong. SS Gang, yes, bring Miami on. Let's see what else we got. Broderick Brown, we back, baby. It was a lot better this year, that's for sure. I mean, Florida State didn't score 30 points in a game last year, I don't think, off the top of my head. 31 today against Bama. 31. SS Gang, I'm so excited, y'all. We had to hear all that trash last year, 2-10 crap. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Guy Davis, I told one of my Bama fraternity brothers that would call to congratulate him after the game. He just texted me. No need to call here. Post of the day, Guy Davis. That is hilarious. Bama fans do not take losing well. Like, they are extremely sore losers in my personal experience. Whatever. Let's see. Alabama only had 80 yards of rushing. Yeah, they got their butts kicked. Let me see what the stat line was for me. Game totals, 87. Yeah. Hold Bama under 100 rushing yards is a big deal. It's a really big deal. That's crazy. SS Game. Yes, the defense was amazing. And amen to that. It certainly was. Let's see. Bibby, I told you Bama off base last season. I'm not surprised. Well, good for you. You're one of the few. I'm a Canes fan, but I'm honestly happy for Florida State, says Sage X. Well, I appreciate that. Don't hear that often from a Canes fan. The Sear twins were great. That reminds me, was 97 the other Desir twin? I'm pretty sure it was, but I didn't have a depth chart with me. 13 was Mandrell. I assume 97 was Darryl. Am I correct on that? Danzy was electric, says, oh, and that is a fact. Devin Fennell, Earl Little is a menace. He's good, man. Like, they found a role for him. Tony White did a good job. With facts, the entire defensive staff did. Players believed in it. You could tell, like, the moxie, the talking, the tackling, everything. The players believed in it. That's how it's done. It was awesome. Let's see. Samuel Gibson, they rotated a lot of defensive players and there was no drop-off. That's a good point. Like, everybody I spoke with, and just from the body language of players and staff and all that, they all had questions. Like, you could tell that from all the opportunities, for Florida State to come out and play Bama. They weren't sure, but they proved it to themselves and the rest of the college football world, man. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Bibby, I said 24-13 FSU. I hope you put money on it. Let's see. Reginald, I woke up feeling like it'd be a great day after seeing the great Lee Corso doing his last college game day. He was the only analyst to pick Florida State. Happy birthday, Brian Smith. Thank you. By the way, that is cool. Shout out to Lee Corso. I've been watching him since I was in high school. It's hard to believe. I turned 52 today, and Lee did his last college game day. Shout out to Lee Corso, a true college football legend and Florida State grad. Blake Nagy, Fear the Spear. Vashon 11, great for the recruits. By the way, I was with some of the Florida State priority recruits yesterday at a high school game and all that. Like, I can only imagine what they experience. I'm going to make a few phone calls and find out, but like, whoa, that was dope. Let's see. SS game. Bama fans are beating their sisters right now. Oh my God, it's hilarious. John Shields, thank you for beating Bama. It will make our beatdown of the Noles look better. Go Canes. Yeah, you're not winning up here. Good luck. Surfer RC, go Noles. And one more, then I'll do my other ad read, and then we'll get back into it. Ride this, guys. Our coaches know what they're doing. Screw those higher recruits that aren't bought into the program. Fair enough. I don't have any problem with that. I'm going to hit a quick break. We'll be back. I got a lot more to talk about in the chat. I want to go into a few stats, too. I want to ask some people some thoughts, what they think about the game from a statistical point of view. And let me ask this, just think about it while I'm going through this next ad read. What would you have done differently, if anything, to prepare? Like, would you have changed anything? Like, what would you have done different if you were Florida State? And pick a phase. Offense, defense, special teams, or a combination thereof. More Florida State beating Alabama after this. Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code football and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 in a year just from buying the gas you already need anyway. At first, it was too good to be true, but it's legit. And if you use it, you're going to make yourself some cash. Don't let this offer drive by. Download the free Upside app now using limited time promo code football for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code football. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Real quick, just to reiterate right before the break what I said. Would you change anything? Offense, defense, or special teams? A play call, a philosophy? Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but Florida State just kicked the crap out of Alabama. What little thing would you have done? What other thing would you have done? Maybe it's a substitution. Maybe it's something regarding a situation, getting the ball at a certain place, what you would have, gone tempo, whatever you want. Just comment on it in the chat, however you want to do it. I think this is awesome. Let's see. SS Gang with a big claim. I don't know if I'm ready to go here yet. I got to see how they play at Clemson for this. But SS Gang, and I quote, Florida State 2025 ACC champs. I like the bravado. I need to see it, but I like the bravado. Florida State going out and getting their business taken care of here, man. It's pretty good. After this game, I mean, you can't really say anything negative about Florida State. Now, just can they be focused, stay healthy? I mean, why not 7 or 8 wins minimum? And then you get into those big games, maybe they win them. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Georgie, the recruits. Hey, man, they had to have a great time. Samuel Gibson, no more snub talk. We got our revenge. Georgie, the recruits in the stands witnessed cinema. Amen to that. Devin Finnell, amazing how much both offensive and defensive lines dominated. Shout out to Devin on this one. Like, I'm still amazed at how many grind out runs FSU had. And here's what I mean by grind out. The ball was snapped and the ball was put into the belly of the running back. They're running RPO pretty much every down. And there didn't seem to be a ton of room. But even if there wasn't, the running back fell forward. He wanted yardage. He did, like the running back coach and the O-line coach and anybody involved with the run game planning in any way, shape, or form. and analysts, players, Tommy, all that, they all deserve credit because everything was systematically on point and the effort was tremendous. Let's start with that. And then defensively, I mean, they got a lead, but Alabama really didn't want to run against Florida State's front. The linebackers, I thought, for Alabama or for Florida State, I thought they were the second best unit on the field today. They were consistent in taking away a lot of the throws in the middle of the field. They peeled off, did a good job on screens and short throws. They were getting out to the perimeter to Ryan Williams. He had 30 yards. Ryan Williams had 30 yards. I know Ryan Williams. I've seen him up close a number of times. That dude shot out of a cannon. And a couple of times where he could have scored and Florida State got beat, the players were smart. Screw it. We'll take the flag. We're going to yank him down. Okay, we'll take the 15. You win this play, but we're going to win the war. Florida State was smarter than Alabama today. That is also a very important point. King beyond the wall. The Sear twin definitely jumped off the screen. Amen to that. Baldwin. Let's see. Yanni. Norvell is not good enough for Bama. They say took it to them and dragged DeBoer through the dirt. I got a phone call from somebody that works high up in media, and he said, will DeBoer survive this? I said, I think if Alabama does not make the college football playoff, and that's obviously a long way away, debatable, one game. I mean, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois last year, made it the title game. Weird things happen. But if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think they'll fire. Alabama people are not rational. Not in the least, is what it is. Guy Davis, the game today was better than I ever could have imagined. 31-17 over Bama. Oh, my God. Hey, man. Guy, they balled out, bro. Florida State balled out. Props. Enjoy it. Call your buddy, by the way, even if he doesn't want it. Just maybe wait a day, catch him off guard. Ask him if he wants to do a live film breakdown with you or something. Have some fun with it. I mean, I would. Devin Fennell. Good to hear a lot of freshman names called tonight. Chroma, the Sear twins both played quite a bit. That's a great start. Boggs didn't get a lot of action, but he was in terms of like getting the ball or whatever, but he was in there. I mean, that's pretty good within itself. So I'm not disappointed with that at all. King Solomon, 1981. Great work, boys. Offensive and defensive line. Go Noles. There are some teams like Miami and Florida that are nervous right now about Florida State. Parabellum says that. Shout out Parabellum. R.A. Nixon. Garnet and goal until I'm dead. Cold. No blooded. LSU, we beat twice. Oh, that's right. That is true. Beat them back-to-back years. Let's give a big go Florida State Seminoles to that scumbag Paul Feinbaum of ESPN. Screw you, Paul. Screw you. Let's see here. They wrote us off, everyone, the whole country. That's from Bob McCack. Look, you're not wrong. It's kind of hard not to. Kim, wow, what an amazing game. Lots of effort on part of both sides of the ball. Yeah, that's amen to that. King Solomon beat LSU twice and Bama. Let's see. This is what happens when you have a real center. He was pretty good. Let's see. Give us your top 15 at the very least. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Cat 5K, and it means FSU's not who they were last year, and their stock is up after this showing. Yeah, that's a fact. Props for admitting that as a Canes fan. Chess ready. Bama head coach better step down. Yeah, he's not that good. He doesn't know how to play in the SEC. They're not physical enough. That ain't going to work down south. I don't know about at Washington. It ain't going to work down south. Bama, you done without Saban. That is from Jazz. Overrated is what he says. Blake Nagin, Bama looks soft to have all that talent. Look, you can have all the talent in the world, but I'm going to say it for about the 20th time on this show. You have to take a high risk and hit in practice. They didn't. Florida State did. Who won? Florida State. Going away. Proctor looked bad. That is wild. It's crazy, isn't it? Because he is uber talented. Didn't matter the way he played, though. He was pretty average most of the game. Tommy is a man of his word. By the way, shout out to Tommy Castellanos. Bama didn't handle him very well, to be honest. Jazz Unlimited. Bama fans crying, calling it a guaranteed dub. Oops. Ride the skies. Bama got cocky on their fourth downs. That's a good point. I think they're 2 for 5. Let's see here. Fourth downs, 2 out of 5. Not great. Not great. Chest ready. Bama pitchforks are out. I'm going to consume a lot of Alabama message board content like Wednesday, Thursday this week when there's really nothing to do. Oh, yeah. This guy. I'm going there. Let's see. Devin, FSU is going to have crazy momentum going into the Miami game. Can't argue. Cannot argue. Timothy Harris. 8 games FSU will win. They are not the team everyone thinks they are. I think 8 wins is certainly possible if you beat Bama. Why would it not be? Why not more? Let's see. Happy birthday. Thank you. Way to enjoy a birthday. No doubt about that. Jazz Unlimited. Go Noles. Yanni. They played Mbakwe at quarterback to simulate Castellanos, and it didn't work. I think that's the understatement of the day. Not even close. Tony White should be a head coach. He's so good. That's a shout out, by the way. This year or next year, Tony White's going to get a head coaching job, and he deserves it. He's a hell of a coach. The new kicker looked good. True. Kicking that field goal early was important because that gives you a 2-score lead. That was nice. Very nice. Devin, the physicality of the defense was impressive. It was impressive. Yeah. Really was. Ride the skies. Tommy was right. Y'all ain't the same without Saban to protect you. Don't hate it. I don't hate it. SEC dropping duds today. That's from Chess Ready. They didn't look very good. Texas, my God, Arch Manning, overrated. Let's see. I was glad to see Holmes get a touchdown. Yeah, he had a nice play there. Crossbow Joe, let's go Clemson. I think they'll beat LSU. Enosh Newby, let's go baby. Ric Flair, quarterback, O-line, tight end, wide receiver, Earl Little. All those guys were balling, bro. All of them were balling. Florida State wasn't even all that healthy, and they won this game. It's crazy. Not going to be a lie. That first Bama drive had me nervous. I was like, oh, crap, this is going to be an avalanche. And then the tide turned on the Alabama Crimson Tide. From that point on, here's the fact. After they led 7-0, Florida State outscored them 31-10 the rest of the game. 3 touchdowns in difference. Crossbow Joe, what a way to start the season. Have fun with the one-game wonder, Tommy. Go BC. Bruce McLaren. Maybe the dumbest post of the millennium. Congratulations. Niners Knowles. Danzy is going to be a problem. Facts. Parabellum. I revised my prediction. 10-2 this year. They go 10-2. That's happy times. Let's see. Ariel Myers, I'm in Thailand and in the highway parking lot. I yelled, Florida State beat Alabama. In my life, I've never seen FSU beat Alabama. Big deal, man. It is a big, big deal. Timothy Harris, who's behind Little? That's the position I'm worried about. I'm not sure how the depth chart really works. I'm not sure if they would switch guys around. I don't know. Skylife Dreams Entertainment. I'm sorry, but I'm still not sold on Daryl Jackson. He played pretty well. He was around the ball a lot. Daniel Lyons played pretty well, too, when he was playing end. The thing that I was disappointed in the most was James Williams because he was close about a half dozen times. Now, I'll give credit. Bama's O-line did okay in pass protection, but their quarterback was just kind of crafty. When to pick up his feet, etc. I thought Williams had him for about 4 or 5 times. It was wild. Simpson just kept getting out of his grasp. Bruce McLaren, jokes aside, glad the AC got a big win. OCC, go BC. Matthew, I'm on record arguing with you and many other people telling you this was going to happen. Every one of you in here, Norvell, a huge. No, there is no huge apology. He went 2-10. There's no apology for 2-10. Sorry. 2-10, bro. No, I will never apologize for that. Sorry, bro. Rod Disguise. Just think when our defense is fully gelled with under Tony White. True. I commented on 100 in Post podcast 24-13. Bama sucked last season. Well, I think they're going to be 8-4 again, somewhere in that range. Let's see. Dono has talked trash about us. He and Kenton both got some crow to eat. All right. Great game for all of us Florida State fans. This is from Reginald, especially from Norvell, Malzahn, White, etc. Can't get off the offensive defensive line. Way to go, Knowles. Let's not stub our toes against lesser opponents. Well said. Very well said. Indeed. Cook it up, says the revenge tour has started. Amen to that. My man allowed me to say, go watch your video 3 days ago. Wise words. I don't know what that's about. Ray Hardy, FSU's better than we thought. Way better than we thought. I can't imagine it not being. Devin Fennell, what assistant coach do you think was the most important pickup after this game? It's Coach White. Defense is on point, bro. I mean, it was on point. Probably packed TV. Big game Bama lost. Insane. Y'all still sorry, though. Yeah, well, I don't agree with that. 31-17 over Bama is anything but sorry. Anything but that. Let's see here. John Jin. Go Seminoles. So proud. Let's see. Here's an interesting prediction. Wise Word says Florida State 10-2. Ceiling 4 is 8-4. Zion Equity Group says we are winning the Atlantic Coast Conference. Russell Smith. Freshmen play well. Which freshman stood out to you, offense then defense? Danzy, obviously. I think that Chroma didn't have a lot of room to run, but Danzy kind of stood out like he's a redshirt freshman. I mean, Boggs didn't want to get involved. Well, it's kind of hard to pick him defensively. It's Mandrell Desir. I mean, it's not even – there's no second play. He was the most impressive freshman. He's going to be an NFL player. Ride Disguise. With that Canes fan, as a Knowles fan, I truly did have nostalgia when they had elite play in all of Florida. Let's see. Town T 311. I really love this staff, the way it was attacking, and I'm from Arkansas, so as an OC, I've always trusted Gus. Happy birthday, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Shout out to me. It is my 52nd birthday today. Let's see. Sweet Southern Comfort TBC. Good old-fashioned butt kicking. Congrats. Yeah, man. They physically manhandled him. I'm just going to read a couple more and kind of wrap it up here. So many comments. I couldn't read half the comments. It's insane how many comments there are in the chat, which is great. Three-Man Weave says that offensive line is what you expect from a Seminole front. Herb Hand got the guys right. No doubt. No doubt. Can Tommy win a game with his arm? Depends on what you mean by that. Like if he's got to throw it 35 times, no. 25 and in, I think they can win. That's kind of my barometer. One more here. Locked on Seminoles, don't overrate yourself. You dominated perfectly, yes, but don't take AK losing their starting D-tackle, running back, and a first-team starting quarterback. Florida State did their job, but it was a perfect storm. That's from Carl P. Yeah. I don't think it was a perfect storm. Florida State just beat them up. Best birthday gift ever from Delwyn Green. And then I'll do this one too. Get this idiot out of here. Yanni, all the former Knowles going crazy on Twitter. Love that. Me too. I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to do another show for tomorrow. May not be the longest. I just want to hit some stats, kind of go over some situational stuff. I really don't have time to do that on a live show. But thanks to everybody for tuning in. And, hey, man, go Knowles. What's the floor, man? I think 8-4 is probably the floor. I think they're going to beat Miami, and I don't really give a crap if Donna likes it or not. They're going to beat Miami. And I also think that there's a lot to like about this team moving forward in terms of just how it's being built. Enjoy it. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you once again for stopping into this live edition of Locked On Seminoles. We will see you again very soon.